Journey was here in this building for 10 years, which is unbelievable. So many great things, so many amazing stories. So many people came to faith in Christ in this place. My son and my daughter were both baptized here.
Oh, wow.
Which is, it's just unbelievable, man.
This is so great to see for me because I've been a part of Journey for a few years now, and I've just never been to this location and seen where it all started. So how did you get here? How did it start for you?
November 2006, I was out in my driveway and I was washing my car. I got a call from a friend who was living here in Denver. His name was John. He was leading worship for a small church plant that had just begun, and he loved it and loved the people, but the founding pastor had left kind of abruptly. And he called and said, would you and Amy be interested in coming out here and leading this church? They're looking for a pastor. So we said, yeah, we're open to it. So we flew out, got to know the people in the core group. Many of them are still here in our church. And Amy and I fell in love with this community. We were young, we were 31 and 30. We had two young kids, 6 and 3, and this was just an unbelievable place to raise a family. It was the furthest we'd ever been away from home, but we just had these big dreams, like God had called us to this place to lead a church. In those early days, we moved out of a hotel ballroom and into a rented facility over off County Line in Holly, and it was an old grocery store built in the 70s, and we went in there as a small little church plant team and built walls and stages and kid spaces and just started inviting our friends and our family and our neighbors to come, and it started to fill up. And more people came, and we ran out of space pretty quickly, and that small group of people, they prayed and sacrificed and gave, and we expanded. We rented some more space from the gymnastics that was next door, and it was a stretch each time, and we stepped out in faith, and it continued to grow, and more people came. And all of these people in this ugly old grocery store were finding faith in Jesus. If you came to church in this building, you really wanted to be here. So it really grew a tight community, and it was neat for us because our little family moved out here to start a church family, and it felt like family. In 2015, when we had been stuck for a long time, someone came and told us about the piece of property that we're on now. They said, hey, this is available. It's 12 acres on I-25. It's zoned for church. And so we went and investigated, and we bought this piece of property for $450,000. Something amazing about this piece of property is that I lived in Castle Rock, not too far from here, and I would drive to the old building. And before Cabela's was built, when they built the Ridgegate exit, I would climb up on that hill. And I would pray and ask God for land in this area. And you can almost see this piece of property. And during that moment, God was stirring the heart of a couple to sell this piece of property to a church. And that's one of the reasons why it's so special to me, because I called out to God for it, and He gave it to us. That church pulled together and said, you know what? We want to build on that property. We've been saving for years. We paid cash for the property. And then we did a campaign, an initiative called Build. What's up, Journey? We're out here on the property. Got trucks out here delivering fence. If you haven't heard, we're free and clear to continue construction on our property. We're so excited about taking these next steps. Today's August the 23rd. It looks like about a 9-month time frame. We were so excited. I brought Travis out here with me. He's already digging. Look at it, boy. And so we moved in to this building in the summer of 2017 because about 500 or 600 people pulled together, sacrificed, stretched, stepped out in faith, and gave. And since that time, it's been unbelievable. The growth, the massive exponential growth that's happened. In fact, most of you watching today, you've joined our church in the last few years. You've become part of our family as a result of stepping out in faith and relocating from where we were to where we are now. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have taken their steps. In fact, just to give you a little perspective, when we moved into this building, we were a church of about 500 or 600 people. And in Christmas of 2019, over 4,000 people joined us for Christmas services. So thousands of people now call our church home. Hundreds of kids, hundreds of students, dozens of people coming to faith in Christ and being baptized, small groups being started, mission opportunities, the kinds of things that we do with Christmas Store and here in our community through the Community Impact Fund and internationally have been because of the big next step onto this piece of property. And now it's our turn to do that again. Now we're at a place, we're at a crossroads where we need to expand, where we need to build. So we always have to come back to the why. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we taking a huge step of faith and adding new facility and doubling our square footage? And the simple answer is people. If you live in this community, you see construction happening all the time. Thousands of people are moving into our community. If we want to be ready, we want to be ready to make more room for people to take their next steps with Jesus. Journey's story is that at all of these different points along the way, we got stuck. We hit a lid, and then a group of people, faithful people who love God, came together and made sacrifices, stretched their faith to make room for more. And now it's time to do that again. And so I'm asking you to pray and seek God as individuals and as a family, and to say, what's our part? What's our part in taking the next step to build Journey? The goal for this project is $8 million, which is a large number. It's going to take all of us stepping in and being a part of something amazing. But just like the crowd over at the last building, the small group of people who sacrificed and stepped out, it was a huge endeavor for them too, but they stretched and they put all of their faith in, they put all of their action behind helping reach more people, and we have all benefited from that, and now we get to do that again for somebody else.